もう一回始めますね。ミルトンのお部屋からスタートでございますね。でこれはもう一回下に行けばいいのかな。
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
そしてドアを封じた。
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
お母さんそれを閉じ込めようとした。何か
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but
お母さんはエディを咎めたけれど、ルイスは自分を責めようと思う。責めたと思うか。
after he graduated, he just
学
spent
校
more
出
and
て
more
から
time in his room
彼はますます部屋に閉じ
until
こも
Mom
っ
got
た。
him a job at the
母
cannery.
さんが缶詰工場の仕事を見つけてくるまで。これルイス。
Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room, except Lewis.
いい部屋じゃん。めっちゃおしゃれじゃん。こういう部屋
Lewis's room
好き
smelled
だ。
very,
ル
very
イスの部屋
familiar.
懐かしい匂いが彼のその分生き続けていた。なるほどね。
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery. But he withdrew part of himself.
おお、怖いな。
In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
さまよい始めた。
I asked him to describe it.
説明してくださいと頼む。
He said he started small.
小さなところから始まる。だと。
Imagining a labyrinth.
迷宮を想像して。
He'd feel his way about.
周りを探ってみる。
Then something moved.
すると何かがうごめく。
Bats
コウモリ。
and toads.
ヒュガエルなどがよいしょ。
And things that have not names.
そして名もないものたち。
He knew it was all in his head.
空想だとでも
But he took it very seriously.
それを真剣に受け止めました。
I had hoped he'd find himself.
自分を見つけてくればよかったんですが。
But he found something more.
それ以上のものを見つけてしまった。
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee.
2つに同時の操作はきついな。
Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on.
よし。
I even encouraged him.
これを励ますことさえしま
It
した。
seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
新しい友達ができたと。
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
できるとミュージシャンを作り上げた。
And songs for them to play.
さらに彼ら演奏する音楽まで。
He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something.
この歌を歌っていたこと。
Every day his imagination grew stronger.
空想は強まりました。
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him.
そんなある日、彼は気づい
At
た
all
ん
the
です。
cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won.
すごい。
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
ゲーム。
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
セントルイス。
He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis.
ミヤネポリス。
Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of Beautiful prince. The prince was on his own quest for...
王子は自ら冒険出かけ。
Radiant rainbows.
あ、倒しちゃった。倒しちゃった。
He followed the sound of his... silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it.
しかしそれを誇りに思った。
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. He began to forget the world we know.
Oh, すごい。
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
工場かな。ちょっと黒いな。
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him. Lewis waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
惜しむいい人でした。ああ。なるほどね。死んじゃったんだ。
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him. On the way back from Lewis's funeral,
ルーさん葬式から家に行かれたというお母さん、荷造を始めなさいと言われた。家を出る前日まで待って彼女はイーディに伝えた。別れを安くしたかったのか難しくしたかったのかよくわからない。越さなければよかったと思う。
But I understand why we left.
でもなぜ出て行ったのかはわかる。
My mom ended up leaving everything
母さん
behind.
結局持ち物すべて置いていく羽目になった。
What happened that night had been coming for a long time.
あの夜に起こったこと来るべししたんだろう。
Maybe it should have come sooner.
ちょっと前に起こっていてもよかったのかもしれない。
But it had to end one way or
どうに
another.
かして終わらなければならなかった。
All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
あの夜のことあなたに伝えるだけ。
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
the power had been shut off that morning, but
その
Edie
朝
always
電
had
気は
plenty of
止められた
candles.
けどイデはいつもたくさんろうそくを灯していた。
When my mom sailed the library, I don't think she knew about the other
お
entrance,
母さんが一つはこうもう一つの出入り口
or that Edie had a key to it.
The thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Dear
絵
Edith,
です。
there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one.
次に
This
た
is
だ一
about
つ
what
残ってい
happened
た
on
の
the
は
night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never
Oh,
thought I'd
sure.
go back to it.
そこに帰るとは一度は思わなかった。
When the fog rolled in,
気が立ち込め
I
てい
lost
て
my
私は
way.
道を失った。
I got turned around. For a while, I wandered.
さまよい歩いた。
I started seeing things.
幻を見るようになった。
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
忘れていたものたち。
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go. I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
彼女はもうい
After
な
that,
か
we
っ
moved
た。
around a lot.
あちこち引っ越して。
We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by.
何年か月日が過ぎた。
My mom didn't like to talk about it,
話したがらない
but
け
she
ど、
started getting
よ
sick
く
a
病
lot.
気するようになった。
The rest happened pretty quickly.
残りの分はかなり迅速に起こりました。
She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone.
そして私は一人になった。
The last Finch left alive.
フィンチの家の最後の生き残り。
Until I found out about you.
あなたのことを知るまでは。
I'm still not sure what to tell you
あ
about
な
all
たに何を
this.
伝えるべきかまだよくわからない。
If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand
永遠
things.
に生きていろいろ理解す
But
る
as it
力がある。
is, I think the
現
best
状
we
目を
can
開
do
く
is
こと
try to
ぐ
open
らい
our
しかで
eyes
きない。
and appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
理解することぐらいしか。
This journal was supposed to be for you.
この日誌あなたのためにはずだった。
But now I hope you'll never see it.
でも今はこれを見つけてほしいとは思わない。
I just want to meet you
あな
and
た
tell
に
you all
会い
these
たい。
stories myself.
そしてこれらの物語を
But I guess if you're reading this now,
今これ読んでるとしたら
things didn't work out that way.
私の願いは叶わなかったってことね。
This is where your story begins.
これがあなたの
I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
ああ、エディスも死んだってことなんだ。そうなんだ。悲しいお話ですね。SHAREfactory なんちゃらこんちゃら。でもこれ実話っぽそうな話でもあるかもしれないね。実話なのかもしれない。すべての終わり。いやー、いいお話でした。本当にあんま自分こういうなんだろう、脱出ゲームみたいなこういうゲームしないから、なんかすごいいいお話だなって感じました。今今月のフリープレイでやってるので、ぜひね、もし興味が湧いた方はぜひやってみてみるといいですよ。これ実話なのかな、どうなんだろう。もし実話だったらね、悲しい出来事ですよ。多分じゃないな、悲しいよ絶対。100年間の悲しみに耐えた屋敷と、そこに封じ込められた一族の魂。PC 版も今なんか無料配布されてるみたいですね。どうなんのかな。1月11日だったホラーだったけどちょっと悲しいロマンチックなお話でしたね。とてもいいお話でした。この写真の映像っていうか、英語読めないからわかんないけど、写真に載ってる子たちはエリソン、ホームの方かな、どうなんだろう。ジェフ、ジョルディン、マルス、ジェームス・マシ。この写真の人たちは何なんだろうね。ペイティングアクションゲーム。 実話っぽいな。エンドってことで、なんだっけ名前、フィンチ家の奇妙な屋敷で起きたことの、無料体験っていうかフリープレイでした。結構ね、本当一つ一つがストーリーですごく面白かったです、自分の中で。もしね、興味ある方はやってみるといいですよ。今無料なので、ぜひね、興味が湧いた方はぜひダウンロードしてみてください。ではご視聴ありがとうございました。ではさつきでした。バイバイ。